Welcome to this episode of Happenings at 2715. I'm your host, Kurt Gibson, and today we're going to explore a reasonably recent buzz phrase in high school sports: team culture. We hear a lot about team culture in all forms of traditional and social media, and I think with the start of another school year, there's really no better time to examine the concept and offer some guidance for student athletes and coaches about the term that they can apply within their various experiences. I believe that team culture begins with each individual member of a team. Each member of a team must understand that his or her actions or inactions need to be consistent with the established culture of the team. An individual's actions or inactions reflect on more than just one person. They reflect on teammates, coaches, the school as a whole, and possibly the school's entire community. It's a privilege to be a part of a team, but that privilege comes with tremendous responsibility. Recognizing the importance of each individual when establishing a team culture, I think it's critical that team culture is based on the reason anyone desires to participate on a high school team. As I think about the reason for participation, I'm always led to this idea: the value of a student's participation on a high school athletic team or as a part of an activity team or group. In other words, the real reason for their participation is to make the student a better citizen when he or she finishes high school. A person's future success as a husband or wife, mother or father, employee, or community member is exponentially more important than how well a specific team does in any given season. There's absolutely nothing wrong with pursuing championships and trying to win every contest, but it's the lessons learned along the journey that would ultimately help shape and define the individual. The wins and losses fade over time, but the character developed through participation leaves a deeper mark on the person, and helping develop people of good character should be the goal of any team's culture. So as we talk about this idea of team culture, we need a simple definition, and here's one that we can use. Team culture represents the values, beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors shared by a team. It's how people work together towards a common goal and how they treat one another. It's possible to grow and evolve a team's culture over time. It all starts, though, with the team honestly identifying where they are now and where they want to be. The only way to make those changes and go from where the team is to where the team wants to be is for the entire team to take ownership of the past and look towards the future. The culture of a team provides the roadmap for how the team will attempt to realize its goals for a season, and it's in that last part of our definition, how they treat one another, that serves as a great reminder for everyone that teams that fail to respect members of their own organization will not accomplish that which they set out to do. And conversely, those teams that do treat their members with respect and treat others in their school and community with respect, that sends clear messages about the type of culture those teams possess, and it's teams like these that often realize the greatest successes. To help teams identify what their culture could look like, the IHSA's Student Advisory Committee met this summer to prepare for the upcoming school year, and a large part of their discussions focused on how to help student leaders and student athletes become better school leaders. In those discussions, the committee recognized the importance that each student athlete has the ability and responsibility to be a leader within their team and their school. As we've mentioned, it's a privilege to represent your high school, and because a student chooses to join a team, he or she is eventually held to a higher standard than other students. As a result, the Student Advisory Committee believes it's important that student athletes accept this responsibility and self-reflect on a few key questions. First, what are the things you'll do to be a leader on your team and at your school? Secondly, what concerns or apprehensions do you have about the upcoming season? If you have any, then as a student leader, you need to share them with someone at your school, and that's most likely your coach. Being open with your communication is a hallmark of successful team culture. And finally, if something negative or something that makes you as a student athlete feel uncomfortable begins to occur within your team or program, who is the adult you will go to and discuss the situation? Again, being open with others is a sign of strength, not weakness. And as a student leader who values teammates and treats others with respect, this sharing of concerns is essential to finding success as a group. In closing, the interscholastic athletic and activity arenas are wonderful developmental spaces for young people to begin growing into successful adults. Those spaces are full of many hurdles and pitfalls, but coaches who create a culture based on personal growth and respect, without worry of wins and losses, enable their players to best prepare themselves for the challenges of adulthood. Thanks for joining me today for this episode of Happenings at 2715. On behalf of our entire production team, we appreciate your continued support of this IHSA developed program. Please continue supporting your local high school by attending one of its events.